So this is my first time at Lion's Jaw, and I just knew about it last year because some of my friends were here teaching and performing. And from the first night when that container got set up, I was like, what is going on here? Like, there's like some serious intention coming from these two people that have created, that like they've called this thing through, you know, like created this container that it's not, like doesn't feel stringent, but it feels really clear. And it feels clear in its inclusivity, and it feels clear like of people, of ideas, of experiences, and it just feels really fertile and beautiful. Like the things that are happening in the like waiting room of this book, and there's conversations on the wall, and there's crossover. This like, it seems like they set up some serious alchemy to have this crossover between the ideas that the different people are bringing in.
I really like in Keith's class how the doors kept open. There's a real attention to the festival as a whole space, a sort of dissolution of borders.
There's a lack of feeling that everything's set and institutionalized, or that it even has a particular identity. It feels very fresh and homemade. Many of us are staying in the houses of the people who organized it. There's a feeling that we were invited here not to fulfill somebody's career ambitions, but because of actual personal interests, curiosities, and desires that people had. The curators, organizers have made a real attention to getting a kind of range of experience of teachers, and that they're intentionally putting people with really established practices, with people with less established, with people who are quite new to their teaching, all into the same festival, and then interacting next to each other or going to each other's classes, sharing the same performance nights.
I grew up in Boston, so I performed here when I was 16 in this
Wow.
place. So tonight will be over 20 years later to perform it. And there was nothing like this happening in Boston 20 years ago.
I live in Seattle, and I came to Lion's Jaw last year. And last year it was quite incredible because the class that I got to teach, the class on durational performance, was the first time I've ever taught it. So it was very exciting to be able to give the opportunity to develop language, not to develop actually, to organize language that I have developed around ideas of durational in performance, but also in a class environment.
Lion's Jaw really brings a lot of different people together, a lot of different dance artists, and the people who are making in different ways, who are accessing movement practices from different perspectives, and it's a very unique dance festival.
It's nice to have a lot of dancers in a small space sometimes, because you have to negotiate, you know, and like really like see, and like the coordination of things kind of makes you have to go, or the space makes the coordination of things have to go a little bit faster.
Yeah, I think that it's nice for Boston to have like a big event that sort of can bring in people from out of town and sort of have the Boston dance scene like as something that could be on the map in a bigger way. I took Lisa Reis's technique class yesterday, which was epic. It was super sweaty and exciting.
So now they're making semi-improvisational, semi-set pieces about what's important for us to know about each of them.
About both of them.
About both of them, yes.
Educate myself, but from whatever filters arise, I invite you to not ignore them, but to actually be in dialogue with them.
I'm not a performance studies scholar in any really rigorous way, but I try to keep up with some of the literature. And I think that there's a moment in dance and performance right now as an object of analysis in which the political efficacy of performance and dance practice is being begged for, is being worked through, is being articulated, trying to figure it out. I'm excited to be at Lion's Jaw, and I'm excited by what's been going on so far because that question seems to be really in the air. What is the political significance of these practices? How are they in relation to a larger world of ideas and problems?
Like, it's not just about pliés and tendus, and this festival offers so many ways into movement that aren't necessarily geared towards traditional technical approaches. So you don't need to be trained in ballet or modern to come here and get a lot out of it and learn a lot about movement and performance art and sweat and have fun and understand a little bit more about dance.
This foot is nice and grounded, responsive. I just fall over it. I'm turning a little towards the left.
Specifically with technique, I've just been playing with how do we call out a person's own power? How do we bring that into the space? How do we bring a personality into the space?
The workshops support a culture that gives us like an opportunity to see like another way of living or another way of having environments where we can sort of grow artistically or even sociopolitically.
I had two very different experiences, and both of them are really, really necessary right now. Like, Hana is just to be able to move and to dance and kind of like get away from that part of me that, you know, might want to stare in the mirror and overanalyze and just be with people who like want to look at you and smile back. And then in Michelle's to kind of like check in, and there's the friend of mine. Yeah, and
I figured it was him.
yeah, sorry. Yeah, it's
The person from California.
yes, the other Californian.
To have this sort of incubated time and space with dancers that I don't know for the most part, in a city that I'm not super familiar with, was a real privilege, and it, I think, helped me develop my teaching practice, which is a young teaching practice. And then there's also folks here who are veteran teachers, so I got to spend some time with them and be working on my own practice at the same time.
You can come on.
You can come.
Come on through.
You guys on a break?
Do you guys feel like proud parents?
I don't know if parents is the word, but I am.
I have been called a
I'm
dad
like-
like 6 times.
It is like so exciting to have everyone in like working towards something for such a long time and having everyone in the same room. There is the sense of like family and kin that come together.
Pride,
Like,
yeah.
we did it. We brought everybody in the same spot. So there's that kind of pride for sure.
It's just like knowing that you had a hand in
It's exciting.
making that.
Yeah.
It feels good, yeah. But I don't feel like a dad. I am a dad, and it doesn't feel like that.
They're gonna start showing
Oh,
some.
Yeah.
let's go.
Are we invited?
Sure.
Yay!
Awesome, thank you.